The androids are some of the most unique character designs in Dragon Ball, blending that 90s sci-fi tech together with the good old Dragon Ball Z style anime aesthetics. We've gotten some really stellar releases with Android 17 and 18, but Android 16 would have to be my all-time personal favorite. The Super renditions with the newest 21 are all fun inclusions in the line, but I'm so happy that we finally have more androids to add to the collection. So how does Android stack up against his cybernetic brethren? Let's find out. What I like. The phrase jumped right out of the anime is thrown around a lot, but this is the epitome of that meaning. This thing is so anime, manga accurate, it's scary. I love the proportions. I'm a little android, short and stout. Tamashii again nailed the overall aesthetics and sculpt of this one. I love the colors, mostly colored plastic here, but we do get some painted details through the figure on the white piping of his vest, the red bands on his chest, the beautifully printed red ribbon logo, and some nicely done shading on the pants. I love the heft and build quality of this guy too. The joints are nice and smooth for all your articulation pleasure, and his well-balanced center of gravity combined with his clownish big feet make him super easy to stand. I love these head sculpts. We get a buttload of options, 5 in total, perfectly capturing all these short-lived but iconic moments of Android 19. We get 5 of these extremely anime-esque heads, beautifully sculpted and printed, with options for your pointy red ribbon hat and this very cool looking clear pink dome being my favorite. I will say this though, they are a bit on the shiny side and could do with a bit of dull coat. What don't I like? Well, the articulation is unfortunately not as impressive as the aesthetics. Whilst I think that they've captured Android 19's look perfectly, he is quite limited around the torso and legs. Here is where I think a figure like this could have really benefited from that soft plastic overlay Tamashii have been playing around with recently. The torso is hard plastic and there's little to no range going forward and back. A soft torso would have been ideal in this situation. This one's kind of tough since 19 isn't your conventional Dragon Ball Z character design, but I think less could have definitely been more for the legs. Too many parts that hinder the range. Just simplify it with 3 parts, hidden thigh cut, knee joint that extends all the way up and bottom, and a lower part of the leg with just the swivel at the boot. I mean, it doesn't need to be super articulated, but I would have liked a bit more range than what we got. Alright, so let's take a look at the articulation. Again, like I said, it is a little bit limited from the waist down, but we still got some pretty good stuff going on, especially in the arms. Let's take a look. First up, we have the head articulation. Android 19 looks up. Looks down. We have side to side. He can go further than that. And we have a little bit of tilt. And I mean a little bit. And most of that is this really neat neck joint going on there. The collar does move with the neck, which is pretty cool. Next up we have the arms. Android 19. I really like how that, I guess they knew that the shoulders were going to be a challenge, so they kind of figured out a pretty good way to tackle them. There's a hinge that goes into this kind of shoulder piece here, and it's broken up in 2 pieces, and it just hinges up like so. Little bit squeaky. We do have 360 rotation, and the shoulder piece here, the shoulder part of the arm is attached via a very sturdy, very big ball joint, as you can see, and we do have some really good butterfly joint range. Again, 360 at the shoulder. There is a swivel, a little bit of a swivel there at the second half of the shoulder there. But we also have a very nicely hidden bicep swivel. It is a double jointed elbow, but we don't get too much range. It's only 90 there. We do have swivels at the wrist and your standard hinges as well. The torso, unfortunately, isn't the greatest. This thing here should have been a soft plastic overlay, but it is hard plastic. So that's as much as we're going to get forward. A bit more going back. And we do have side to side, but it doesn't help that the belt here is also hard plastic. There is a bit of tilt going left and right, but it's not the greatest, unfortunately. Now for the legs, unfortunately, he gets actually pretty good range going left and right. Not too bad, considering the shape and size of his pants, but that's as far as he'll kick forward. And if you want him to get a little bit further, nope, that's as far as he can get, unfortunately. Kicking back, non-existent because of the way that it's sculpted at the back there. The pants look nice at least. And like I said, the pants, they're broken up into 5 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they could have made this part here a completely one section, have the knee joint one section as well, and have this lower piece here, you know, the last section of the leg. That would have, you know, kind of cleared up a bit of this bulk. And I know that's the design of Android 19. He's supposed to have these big poofy balloon pants, but I think it would have helped. And they could have maybe shaved off a bit of sculpt here at the back of the legs to give him a bit more bend at the knee, but that's as far as we get. A little less than 90, which is unfortunate, but we do have swivel there, a very good swivel there at the upper thigh, and we do have a swivel there at the feet or boot or ankle cuff there. There is also a swivel there at the foot. A very big toe hinge. The foot does go down, like so. And he does bend his foot. Yeah, not too bad. Going up. And we do have a little bit of ankle tilt. It's not the greatest. It's not the worst, but not too bad either. For accessories, it's a pair of fists, a set of open palm finger together blast hands, a couple of open palm fingers splayed out blast hands, and a pair of key absorbing grabbing hands. Here are all the heads with the pink dome option. We even get a little tool that lets you swap out the hat and dome out easily for all you who cut their fingernails super short like me. But the icing on the cake would have to be the swappable battle damage torn off arms with bonus Super Saiyan Vegeta faceplate to recreate one of Vegeta's most iconic fights in Dragon Ball Z. Android 19 is probably the most challenging in terms of design to translate from 2D animation to 3D 6-inch plastic form out of all of the androids we've seen so far. I'd say even more than Android 21. Again, I think Tamashii nailed the aesthetics, but unfortunately the articulation leaves a little to be desired. I would have liked a bit more range in the torso and legs, but as is, 19 is a little limited in what he can do. Luckily, the expressive head options and accessories do make up for it, so you still get plenty of options for display. He falls a little short of hitting Android 16's highs, but is still a valiant attempt at one of Dragon Ball Z's most unique characters. I'm still really looking forward to Android 20, which I'm sure will get better range due to his design, but if nothing else, having 19 and 20 together, being able to recreate iconic scenes with the rest of the Z fighters definitely counts as a win for me. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the review. A bit late, I know, but I've been backed up with reviews, trying to get through each one as quickly as I can before this month's releases creeps into this ever-growing pile. Next up will be the new S.H.FIGUARTS Kenobi Vader, followed by Orbital, and if I can get around to it, and I really want to review this one, Figurized Standard Metal Greymon. Still have to build it though. Alright, on to the next one. I'll see you guys real soon though. Have a good one. Yoroshiku.